Hello and welcome. This is Amhara Media Corporation and you are watching our Thursday update live from Bahar, Ethiopia. I am Stay with us. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs AMECO conferred with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees Filipino Grandi. Let's get more from Ababa Burhane.
During their discussion, the two parties agreed that Ethiopia and United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees should continue to work in concert to address the needs of refugees and internally displaced people in Ethiopia. According to the Deputy Prime Minister, the Commissioner's visit was timely and significant, and it was in line with the government's efforts to restore relations with partners following the Pretoria Peace Treaty. He emphasized Ethiopia's generous refugee hosting policies, which deal with 800,000 refugees and require ongoing financial and material support from partners, such as United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, to sustain them. Grandi, for his part, praised Ethiopia's treatment of refugees and promised to assist some of the country's refugee-related initiatives. Finally, he asked the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister to participate in the 2023 Global Refugee Forum. According to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Tesfaun Gobeze, General of Refugees and Returnee Services, was also present at the meeting and clarified protocols relating to refugee repatriation and IDP return.
According to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, African leaders, heads of various international organizations and officials of different countries have confirmed to attend the 36th African Union Summit to be held in Addis Ababa. Let's get more from Modamuluye.
The 36th ordinary session of the African Union Heads of State and Government, as well as the 42nd ordinary session of the Executive Council, will be held in Addis Ababa from 15 to 19 February 2023. Officials of the ministry have visited the preparation activities being underway in the city with a view to warmly welcome the guests and facilitate a pleasant stay in the city. Director General of Protocol at the ministry, Demek Atnafu, said leaders of many African countries and heads of international organizations, as well as officials from various countries, have already confirmed to attend the summit ever than before. He added that the National Committee established to successfully host the summit is carrying out various activities, and many of them have now been completed. According to the director, the peace agreement reached between the government of Ethiopia and TPLF in South Africa is contributing a lot for the big number of participation in this year's African Union Summit. He said that all the necessary preparations are being made to host the summit with greater success, with the objective to show Ethiopia's good intents and respect for Africans. Addis Ababa City Head of Urban Beautification and Green Development Office, Jamal Jambaru, on his part said many of the preparations are well underway.
The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization FAO reaffirmed commitment to further strengthen its support to Ethiopia with a view to expedite the agricultural development activities in the country. Let's get more from Modamuluye.
Minister of Agriculture Girma Amenti has held discussion with the representative of Food and Agriculture Organization to Ethiopia, Farai Zimudzi. During the occasion, the representative said her organization will strengthen the existing cooperation with the Ministry of Agriculture to support the development of the sector in Ethiopia. Particularly, she pointed out that Food and Agriculture Organization is committed to help Ethiopia in its effort to mitigating the challenges being encountered due to climate change, in addition to its support to enhancing crop and livestock development. Minister of Agriculture Girma Amenti, for his part, briefed the representative about issues that require special attention in the sector. He has also commended FAO's continued support to the development of the sector in Ethiopia. According to Ministry of Agriculture, the two sides have agreed to work in partnership with the utmost commitment.
The Institute of Foreign Affairs and Wallo University co-organized a policy consultation forum that aimed to encourage foreign direct investment and address investor concerns. Let's get more from Ababa Burhane.
Attending the forum, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister AMECO stated that how they treat present investors would play a significant role in attracting others. He emphasized that all levels of government in the country should give attention to the concerns of foreign investors. AMECO stated that all Ethiopian missions abroad will engage in intensive promotional activities to attract foreign direct investment and that a particular plan is prepared to accomplish this. State Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Misganu Arga, remarked that Ethiopia is rising from national and international challenges it has encountered. All stakeholders should use this opportunity to promote the country's investment. According to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, President of the Amhara region, Yilqal Kefale, Minister of Innovation and Technology, Bellete Molla, members of Parliament, state ministers and ambassadors also attended the forum and paid a visit to Kombolcha Industrial Park.
Ambassadors and development partners of various European countries have expressed their commitment to supporting Ethiopia's development plans. We have Ababa Burhani for the detail.
Minister of Agriculture Dr. Girma Mente held discussion with ambassadors and development partners of various European countries on their supports being provided to Ethiopia to improve the agriculture sector. The minister discussed with the ambassadors of Denmark, Norway, Netherlands, European Union and representative of French Development Cooperation Agency and other development partners. During the discussion, ambassadors and representatives of development partners have expressed their commitment to further strengthen efforts in supporting the development of Ethiopia. They also said that they will continue to support the reconstruction and rehabilitation activities being carried out in areas affected by war and droughts in Ethiopia. It was indicated that European countries, through the European Union, together with the World Bank, have been supporting Ethiopia's development endeavors. They underscored that they will continue to strengthen their support, especially in the agriculture sector, with a view to help smallholder farmers transform to commercial farmers. They have also expressed their desire to further strengthen their bilateral cooperation with Ethiopia, pledging to exert more efforts towards realizing this goal. Norway's ambassador to Ethiopia, Stian Christensen, said that Norway has been a long-term supporter of Ethiopia in the agriculture sector for more than a decade.
We are committed to continuing to work with Ethiopia in this area. We are very encouraged by the professionalism and by the commitment of the Ethiopian government, and for that reason we very much look forward to continue to partner with Ethiopia in this area going forward. We will do whatever we can to try to support particularly the farmers to be able to move from subsistence to market-based farming.
Ambassador of Netherlands to Ethiopia, Henk Jan Bakker, said on his part that Ethiopia is the largest recipient of development cooperation funds. He reiterated that his country will continue to support Ethiopia's development activities, including agriculture.
Ethiopia is the largest recipient of development cooperation funds of the Netherlands, and within that largest portfolio, food and nutrition security is the largest chunk of what we do here. So there is definitely a very big commitment from our side to food and nutrition security in Ethiopia, and we will continue to do so.
Minister of Agriculture Girma Mente said on his part that the support of partners in the efforts to strengthen agricultural productive and modernize the sector is crucial. Appreciating the contribution of the development partners, he said the discussion will help to strengthen their cooperation in the future.
The International Livestock Research Institute has launched an Enviro Cow project geared towards assisting the dairy sector cope with the vagaries of climate change and improve production. Brahan Warkan will give us the detail.
The 3 years project will be implemented in Addis Ababa and Oromia region by the International Livestock Research Institution with the financial support obtained from the Bill and Gates Foundation. The project solely targets on ways to ensuring food security by increasing production and productivity through climate-friendly livestock practices. The project leader and professor of quantitative genetics at Scotland Rural College, Rafael Morde, said the project is supportive to national government goals on promoting positive development in the dairy industry in Ethiopia. He said the project touches on many national goals including nutrition and food security, livelihoods of farmers, poverty reduction and increasing resilience in the face of climate change.
Climate change is very important, although maybe some governments are not paying attention. We can see that the drought is getting more severe in many countries. We need reliable and regular rainfall for us to be able to actually engage in productive agriculture for livestock and also for crops. In Africa, the productivity, whether it is milk or whether it's crop, 80% come from smallholders, farmers with small piece of land or with few livestock. And so their livelihood will be severely affected. For instance, if there's drought or the climate change means that there's no water, it means that their very livelihood will be very much affected. So in terms of livelihood and food security, climate change is very important, even at the very smallholder system. The farmer with few animals or the farmer with just a small piece of land for cropping, it is very important we pay attention to the issues of climate change.
According to him, climate change is affecting the availability of rain and animal feed in East Africa, including Ethiopia, affecting the livelihood of millions of smallholder dairy farmers. The AMECO project will help develop potential mitigation and adaptation methods for smallholder dairy cattle system, at the same time promotes productivity, food security and climate change resilience. The researchers said over a 2-year period, the research will gather data on the methane emissions produced by approximately 700 cows from up to 80 dairy farms in Tanzania and Ethiopia. As part of the study, the animals will also be genotyped and the composition of their milk will be analyzed to detect any chemical indicators that could be linked to methane production.
The Eco Cow, the reason for this project is we realize that we need to improve the level of our production. So for instance, in Ethiopia, even also in Tanzania, the amount of milk produced by the smallholder farmer is less than 1,000 kilograms per lactation. So that is very low productivity. So the purpose of the AMECO is to improve that, to increase the amount of milk they actually produce.
Speaking at the launching ceremony in AMECO project, advisor to the State Minister of Agriculture, Almayo Mekonnen, said in a bid to enhance the livestock sector, the government of Ethiopia have been implementing various policy strategies.
Increases in global surface temperature as a result of climate change have significant impact on livestock in terms of feed resources, emergence of new disease, and reduced productivity. The impact smallholder farming has on climate is not clearly understood, as data quantifying greenhouse gas emission in this system are limited. Therefore, research for the sustainability of the smallholder dairy system in the light of the climate change is paramount, considering mitigation strategies and adaptive capacity of animals, while also ensuring increased productivity and food security. This launch of this project enhances the opportunity of the scientific community and governmental officers working together to address the important topic of increased productivity, efficiency in the smallholder system in the light of climate change.
The agriculture and forestry sectors are key to both national income and household livelihood, as both sectors make up 43% of the gross domestic product and employ around 80% of the country's population. Therefore, he stated, the climate resilience green economy which the country is implementing is geared towards protecting the economic growth against the vagaries of current and future climate change challenges. He said the AMECO project launched will provide significant data and research gaps that the government needed.
Proceeding to news beyond borders. First, Google is grading for a battle of wits in the field of artificial intelligence with BARD, a conversational service aimed at countering the popularity of the ChatGPT tool backed by Microsoft. According to a Monday blog post from Google CEO Sundar Pichai, BARD initially will be available exclusively to a group of trusted testers before being widely released later this year. Google's chatbot is supposed to be able to explain complex subjects such as outer space discoveries in terms of simple enough for a child to understand. It also claims the service will also perform other more mundane tasks such as providing tips for planning a party or lunch ideas based on what food is left in a refrigerator. The United Nations said Tuesday that it is lack of job more than religious ideologies that are allowing violent extremists to attract a growing number of recruits in sub-Saharan Africa. According to the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, the findings from the survey of nearly 2,200 men and women challenge traditional assumptions about what drives people to violent extremism. The UNDP relies on interviews conducted in 2021 and early 2022 in 8 countries: Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Chad, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, Somalia, and Sudan. Nearly 1,200 respondents were former members of violent extremist groups, including volunteer recruits. The majority belonged to some of the most prominent groups in the region, including Boko Haram, the Shabab, and the Al-Qaeda affiliated group. A quarter of volunteer recruits cited a lack of job opportunities as their primary reason for joining, an increase of 92% from the findings of similar 2017 study. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has defended his government's response to 2 catastrophic earthquakes, saying it was impossible to prepare for the scale of the disaster. Let's get more from the report. At least 15,000 people are confirmed dead in Turkey and northern Syria. Critics claimed the emergency services response was too slow and the government was poorly prepared. Erdogan accepted the government had encountered some problems but said the situation was now under control. The leader of Turkey's main opposition party, Kemal, disagreed and said if there is one person responsible for this, it is Erdogan. The president rejected the accusation and said unity was required in the aftermath of the disaster, and he told reporters in Hatay that in a period like this he cannot stomach people conducting negative campaigns for political interest. Thousands of survivors have been spending a third night in freezing conditions, with hope fading for many trapped under the rubble. Our World Health Organization official has warned there could be significant injuries caused by freezing temperatures among survivors of the quakes. World Health Organization Earthquake Response Incident Manager Robert Holden on Wednesday said they have got a lot of people who have survived now out in the open in worsening and horrific conditions, and they are in real danger of seeing a secondary disaster which may cause harm to more people than the initial disaster if they don't move with the same pace and intensity as they are doing on the search and rescue. In nearby Syria, relief efforts have been complicated by years of conflict that has destroyed the nation's infrastructure. The Bab al-Hawa crossing between Turkey and Syria has been closed since the earthquake as the roads were badly damaged. While a senior United Nations official said the road may soon be accessible, Turkey's Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu confirmed the country was working to open 2 more border gates to help get aid into the country. He said that there are some difficulties in terms of Turkey's and the international community's aid reaching Syria. For this reason, efforts are being made to open 2 more border gates. The European Union has confirmed it will send €3.5 million in aid to Syria following a government request for assistance, but said the aid must be delivered to both government and rebel-controlled areas. More than 1,500 people have died in Idlib province alone, and an advisor to Syrian President Bashar al-Assad said sanctions were stopping Syria from receiving the aid it needed. Botonia Shaban said they don't have enough bulldozers, enough cranes, enough oil due to European and American sanctions. This is Amhara Media Corporation and you are watching our Thursday update live from Bahar Dar, Ethiopia. Now let's see the foreign currency exchange rate of the day. This is all we got for today. I am Fukrati Zodo and you are watching our daily news. Goodbye and have a nice time.